5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Today, we are going to be talking about 3 top celebrities that were tragically murdered in South Africa. When you talk reggae, you think of Jamaica and the islands like Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Dominican Republic, and the Bahamas. It's crazy that until I was researching on this, I thought Lucky Dube was Jamaican. The South African-born reggae icon is one of the most celebrated reggae legends of all time. He has received several recognition across the globe, including Best-Selling African Recording Artist Award at the 1996 World Music Awards. Lucky Dube, the well-known reggae musician and Rastafarian, who put South Africa on the global map with some of his hit songs like Remember Me, Prisoner, and Respect. The 43-year-old artist was driving at night on the 18th of October 2007 when a group of carjackers attacked and shot him dead just after he dropped his 2 children at their uncle's place. The second celebrity we are going to be talking about is Mandla Hlatshwayo. I really hope I pronounced the name correctly. Mandla's case is disheartening. All these cases are, of course, but Mandla was shot dead because he was literally being a knight in shining armor. He was defending 2 women who he saw being robbed and was shot in the process. The third is South African model Reeva Steenkamp, who was mistakenly shot by her boyfriend 4 times. Unquote, mistakenly, that's what her boyfriend said. He mistakenly fired 4 times and shot his girlfriend to death on Valentine's Day. She had her life ahead of her, but it all ended because of one thoughtless decision. One insane choice brought pain and sadness to their families. Now let's dive into these cases one after the other. Lucky Philip Dube was born in Emelo, formerly the Eastern Transvaal, now of Mpumalanga, on the 3rd of August 1964. His parents separated before he was born, and he was raised by his mother, who named him Lucky because he survived after several failed pregnancies. Lucky Dube spent most of his childhood with his 2 siblings in his grandma's home. While his mother worked, she worked far from home. In his words at an interview, he described his grandma's name is Sarah, as, unquote, his greatest love, who multiplied many things to bring up this responsible individual that I am today, end quote. Dube worked as a gardener when he was a child, but later realized as he grew older that he wasn't earning enough to feed his family. He enrolled in a school, joined a choir, and formed his first musical ensemble called the Skyway Band. At school, he discovered the Rastafarian movement and joined his cousin's band at 18 years. They played a Zulu pop music known as Mbakwanga. He worked as a security guard at car auctions in Midrand to fund his music dreams. Though Dube was in school, the band recorded during holidays and released an album under the name Lucky Dube and the Super Soul. They released a second album soon after. After their 5th album release, Dave Segal, who became Lucky's sound engineer, advised him to go by just Lucky Dube. At this time, Lucky noticed that his fans responded more positively to the reggae sounds he played during concerts. He decided to try the new musical genre, and in 1984, he released a mini-album, Rastas Never Die. The record sold very poorly compared to his Mbakwanga records. Also, the Appetite regime banned the album in 1985 because of its critical lyrics. He wasn't discouraged and performed the songs at concert. He produced a second reggae album, Think About the Children, in 1985, which achieved platinum sales and made Lucky Dube a popular reggae artist. He continued to release successful albums and won 4 OKTV awards for his song Prisoner in 1989. His 1993 album sold over 1 million copies worldwide. In 1996, he released Serious Reggae Business, a compilation album which made him the International Artist of the Year at the Ghana Music Awards. His album Respect aimed an European release through a deal with Warner Music. Lucky Dube toured internationally, sharing stages with artists like Sinead O'Connor, Peter Gabriel, and Sting. He appeared at the 1991 Reggae Sunsplash and the 2005 Live 8 event in Johannesburg. Lucky Dube was not only a musician, he also featured in some films like Voice in the Dark, Getting Lucky, and Lucky Strikes Back. On the evening of October 18, 2007, Lucky Dube went to his brother's house with his kids. He dropped his 2 kids off, then headed back home, only for armed robbers to shoot and kill him while trying to steal his car in Rosettenville, Johannesburg, South Africa. He was only 43. Police reports suggest he was shot dead because the carjackers didn't recognize him and believed he was a Nigerian. 5 men were arrested in connection with the murder. 3 were found guilty on March 31, 2009. 2 of them tried to escape but were caught. They were all sentenced to life in prison. Lucky Dube was one of the first artists to bring African reggae mainstream. He bridged cultural gaps within the African diaspora. Dube gave Africa a voice and put its culture on the global stage by joining the reggae community. On the 18th of October 2017, Gallo Records South Africa released a 25-track limited edition commemorative album titled The Times We've Shared. The album features Lucky's biggest hits, exclusive performances, and 3 previously unreleased tracks. In Australia, his music resonates with remote Australian Aboriginal communities, and his popularity led him to be called, unquote, bigger than the Beatles through much of Central and Northern Australia. Mandla Hlatshwayo was a South African actor and media personality known for his roles in the TV series The Lab, Backstage, and Generations. The actor was born on November 24, 1956 in Soweto, South Africa. His mother was from Chiawelo and he lived with his sister Maggie in Ntombela and his brother Sifo. While growing up, what is more disheartening is that his father was also killed many years ago during a robbery. The killers robbed and killed Mandla's father for his cell phone. Losing both husband and son to armed robbers was very hard for the actor's mother to deal with. Mandla got married to Amanda Mabuso in September 2002. He is a father of 5 children. Mandla started his TV career in 1996 after joining the SABC1 serial Soul City 2. In 1998, he worked for an industrial theatre company called The Blue Moon. He appeared in Deafening Silence and Kellebone. He also played Sifiwe Fosa in SABC1 soap opera Generations. The actor became popular and continued to play the role for 7 years. He did several other acts in series and films and worked as a DJ on Josie FM. On the 14th of May 2017, Mandla went to a pub to discuss plans of an event he was preparing for with the pub owner. He and a man popularly known as Chum Chum were outside the pub when they saw 2 women being robbed. They both went to save the women but were shot dead. The robbers took Mandla's shoes and car. Some sources say that Chum Chum, whose real name is Opa Duma, was a friend of Mandla, while others said they were not friends, they just happened to be together and tried to save those 2 women that were robbed. They both unfortunately met the same fate. 4 suspects were arrested in connection with the murders, but it is unclear if there were no sufficient evidence to take them to court, because as of now, no one has been held accountable for the murders. The killers haven't been found, and justice hasn't been served. Reeva Steenkamp. This case is quite gripping. There's people who feel Oscar Pistorius should rot in jail, while others believe it was a mistake, an actual case of mistaken identity. I'm not going to go into details about what happened. This case is among the long list of cases I'll be talking about in this channel, hopefully soon. So if you haven't subscribed, do so. Turn on your notifications so that anytime I drop new videos, you get notified. Reeva Steenkamp was a South African model and paralegal. She was shot dead by her boyfriend, Oscar Pistorius, on Valentine's Day in 2013. Her boyfriend claimed that he thought there were intruders in his house, so he shot the supposed intruders, not knowing that it was his girlfriend. He was charged and found guilty for the murder of Reeva Steenkamp. Pistorius was sentenced to 13 years and 4 months in prison in 2017, 4 years after the murder. The beautiful Reeva was only 29 years at the time. She modeled for FHM magazine and was the first face of Avon Cosmetics in South Africa. She is described as a loving, selfless, determined and focused woman and was adored by her family and friends. She was the face of an anti-bullying campaign and was about to return to her old school to talk to girls about gender-based violence, but her life was cut short. In the video I'm going to be doing about this, I'll touch all areas: her background, Oscar Pistorius' background, the circumstances, and what really happened that day. I know I said 3 celebrities, but I can't but mention AKA, whose real name was Kenan Jared Forbes, a well-known South African musician who was shot dead early this year in Durban, South Africa. I'm trying to make this video as short as possible, so I won't be going over AKA's murder, as I have already done a whole video about it. I'll be dropping a link to the video in the comment section so that you can check it out if you wish. I talked about his background, childhood, his love life, the circumstances of his death, and what went down that day, and the possible suspects. That is according to online police, not actual police suspects, and some other details. It's very sad when young people pass on, and when celebrities are murdered, both their families, friends, and fans are disheartened. Just last month, fast-rising South African star Costa Titch collapsed and died while performing at the Ultra South African Music Festival in Johannesburg at a young age of 28. Even though he wasn't murdered, the cause of death hasn't been determined. Constantino Sobanoglu, born of a Greek father and a South African mother, was a South African amapiano rapper and dancer. It's speculated that he had seizures but always overcame them, but he didn't this time around. And it was also speculated that the seizures was ignited by the lights on the stage. While some said it was caused by stress, either way, it's still puzzling and unfortunate. It is infuriating that these murders, like that of Lucky Dube and Mandla, were as a result of armed robbery. Unfortunately, the killers of Mandla haven't been found. What is common in these cases is gun violence. The growing rate of gun violence in South Africa is really disturbing. According to reports, on average, 18 people are shot and killed every day in South Africa. The motives of these murders include but are not limited to robbery, gang shooting, hits, gender-based violence, arguments, and organized crime. It is important that the killers be brought to face justice, but it is more important to tackle the root problem of this issue so that the cycle of violence can be abated. One way to do so is gun control through elimination of illegal firearm trade. And also, gun licensing to civilians should be illegal. South Africa should take a look at America and the havoc gun licensing and use is causing there. It has caused more harm than you can think of and should be discouraged by other countries. That's all I have for you today. Click like on this video. Drop in your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about these cases? You can also share so we grow this new community. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. I've been working on a video for like 2 weeks now. It's a long video. Editing and all is taking a while. Hopefully it will be my next video. So do turn on your notification bell so that when I drop the video you get notified. Thank you for tuning in. Until you hear from me in my next video, stay safe and stay blessed.